Good evening and welcome to Wisdom Walk Talk here on Black Hole Radio and my YouTube channel, Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery. I am your host and guide, Jojapa Maria Ensaroma, and September has initiated the third and final, thank goodness, chapter of the 2020 transit of drastic change. The first chapter, January through April, was the breaking down. The second chapter, May through August, was the breaking up. And this final chapter, September through December, is the breaking through, which will lead to the 2021 breakaway. As the final mineral month of this year, September brings divine opportunities for connecting or recommitting to alignment with a higher purpose and to those who can support you with your inner renaissance. Yes. Through 4 live broadcasts and accompanying videos, I am providing wisdom and insight on the inner renaissance journey, continuing with this week with the big breakthrough, which I'm so excited about. I love talking about breakthrough. But first, just as a reminder, when I'm broadcasting live, you can actually listen to this over the phone at this number. It's area code 563-999-3089. Again, that's 563-999-3089. I will upload a video of this broadcast on Tuesday, hopefully by Wednesday at the latest, to my YouTube channel, which is Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery. Now, you can ask questions or share comments on my Facebook page, which is Wisdom Walk Radio, or my website, which is www.wisdomwalktoselfmastery.com, or in the comment section below the YouTube video. But right now, I invite you to sit or lay back and join me for an exploration of the inner landscape where you can connect to your soul and discover the true treasure of being human. And as always, I want to begin my broadcast out by stopping and honoring the ancestors. And of course, this week, the United States of America, the world, and the cosmos lost another very, very heroic woman. And of course, I'm talking about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the infamous Supreme Court Justice who really championed the rights of women, especially around the case of Roe v. Wade. And I know that the issue of abortion is a very, very sensitive one for a lot of people, very conflictual. But a lot of people forget about what it was like for women when they didn't have access to safe pregnancy prevention. And just the kind of suffering that went on, the stories that went on. It's interesting because a lot of stuff never got talked about because, of course, all this stuff was so shameful, so shameful. But people know what the history was like for women and men. Because here's the other reality, too, is that an unwanted pregnancy is also something that affects a man because men are human. So anyway, just a wrap about that, because Ruth's work in terms of giving people a choice, and that's really, to me, what it's about. It's about a woman especially should have a choice about what she does with and what happens to her body, to her life. So we honor Ruth along with all the other people who have died this year in 2020, of course, because of COVID, but also through cancer, as Ruth had, as Chadwick Boseman had, and other forms of chronic diseases that people are still experiencing despite the COVID virus. So join me now in thinking about an ancestor that was close to you, somebody that you may have known personally, but could have been a famous celebrity or somebody from history. Just somebody that you feel connected to. And join me as I invoke the ancestors. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you for your blessing and mercy in our lives, and for yet another opportunity to call out to you, to call out to be aligned with your greater will for humanity, and of course for us personally. And so we want to take this time, this moment, to honor the ancestors. And so we're calling out to them, saying, ancestors, 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 all of you who are newly ancestored, we are calling out to you as well, because we who are still here in this earth plane and who are dealing with navigating through such a tremendous time of great change, of great upheaval, of great unknown, we need your help, your wisdom, your guidance, your love, your reminders to us about our courage, our resiliency, our creativity, our ability to make it through. So please be around us, be a guide to us through our tongues, through our eyes, through our ears, through even how we stand, through how we perceive things. We need your help, and so we're calling out to you to receive that. You who can see in all directions at once, you for whom problems here are not problems where you are. We welcome, 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 and expect your guidance, your love, and your wisdom in our lives. And so, Creator, once again, I thank you. I thank you for the blessing of the ancestors, and I ask and thank you for their blessed guidance. In the name of all that is holy, I say Amen. Ashe Ahoasa, Ashinga Bismillah, and so it is. Ashe, Ashe. Well, we have a little bit of a lull this week in terms of the energetics, but next week is going to be a little more stressed out. Although some of you, like me, may already be starting to be feeling kind of like the squeeze, you know. Here in California, fires are still burning, as well as up in Oregon and parts of Washington State as well. And so the West Coast, it's really quite challenging out here. The other day we had a 4.7 earthquake. It was only about 22 miles. It's epicenter from where I'm at. It shook me. I was sitting on the edge of the bed playing solitaire, and it felt like somebody was pulling the bed out from under me, so I kind of jumped, and I looked and I saw the lampshade swinging. I was like, oh, it's one of those. Yeah, you know. And I can tell you, the only way that I can live here in California is because of God. Okay, let's be very clear about that. And the fact that it is like paradise most of the time. But still, it is, you know, definitely at any moment, you just never know. So to stay clear with that, it's important to stay in gratitude and to stay focused. And so this week I'm going to share the elemental wisdom with you that helps us do that, as well as the astrological information that is happening for us right now. So this week we are currently in a water week. It started on the 16th, lasts until the 22nd. But on the 23rd, this Wednesday, we shift into a nature week. And here's the opportunities. It's all about flexibility, trusting the process. Yeah. Surrendering our attachment to our plan. You know, when you make up what you think is the best way for your dreams to come true, you're sure to be disappointed. So trust that the universe, with its unknowable ability to make things happen in the right way and at the right time, is more powerful than your brain or that of any other human. Want it to be right for you more than just wanting it. Let go of trying to figure it all out. Do what is right in front of you to do at the present moment, and know that more will be revealed. Connect with the magical and tricky energy of the nature element, whether that is in the form of plants, trees, flowers, animals, or humans, to help you accept the greater order and direction you are being asked to experience. Yeah. So here's the distractions for this week. Being arrogant and or stubborn, not going to help you. Attempting to change a no into a yes. I used to do that quite a lot, but I learned my lesson. Perceiving things as win-lose. Not okay. Not okay anymore, especially not in the time we're in. Despairing and trying to go back to the place you know best. I also call it trying to squeeze back through the hole. Well, guess what? Ain't no hole, ain't no going back. All we can do is go forward. And last but not least, beating yourself up for the situation and or outcomes over which you have no control. Yeah. All of that will definitely block you from trusting the process, surrendering to attachment, and staying flexible. Now, next week on the 30th, the last day in September, we move into an Earth Week, and it'll be time for you to be an inspiration. And I'll remind you about that in the next broadcast. Just need a little drink of water there. So, on the 22nd, this Tuesday, we have an Earth Day. Yay! Really important with all the climate change stuff that's going on. There's another huge storm out in the Gulf too that is threatening the Gulf Coast. I mean, it just keeps up, And of course, this is hurricane season, but still, it's a lot. It's a lot. So Tuesday, Earth Day. Please, please, please take time to do something to honor this earth, whether you do it spiritually or practically, like really saying, okay, today I'm not going to use anything that comes in a plastic container. Yeah, wouldn't that be great? I'm only going to use things that are in paper or no container at all. Really try that out. The earth will be very happy to you, and the 7 generations that come after us will be even more happy. Again, you can also go to the Earth Day website, which is www.earthday.org. Go to the section Today's Action, and you'll get some more ideas and information about how you can personally contribute to helping to save and honor this beautiful planet Earth. Now, astrologically, like I said, it's a little lull here. There's not a lot of stuff that is going on, except for the fact that we are entering into our equinox on September the 22nd, Tuesday. We fall into, in the northern hemisphere, the autumnal equinox, and in the southern hemisphere, of course, it's the spring equinox. Now, equinox, of course, means the equal parts day and night, and it also, from a very spiritual connotation, is about reminding us to stay in balance, because as things are shifting from one season to another, the reminder is we can stay in balance. But I think that knowing about the fact that equinox is happening in both hemispheres of the earth with 2 different types of experiences, right? In the northern hemisphere, you're leaving summer and going into autumn, headed toward winter. In the southern hemisphere, you're actually coming out of winter and going into your springtime, headed toward the summer. And the significance in this is that it's this cosmic message about the nature of change in our lives. I think it's and the message that change is inevitable, because I think it's very easy for us to get caught up in when things are happening, especially if they are bad and they don't feel good. We go into a despair about, it's going to be like this forever, it'll never end. But that's not true. There's great comfort in this notion that change is inevitable. And especially we need to remember that during this 2020 transit, because of the severe challenges that it has brought to us. It's very foolish to despair, because change will happen. So on Tuesday, The energy of the equinox will bring you that reminder to stay hopeful, to really know that things are changing and always changing for the better. Even the winter has purpose. It has purpose to prepare the ground for the new things that are coming. Yeah. Yeah. So here's my overview for what I will talk about for the rest of this offering to you. I will, again, just do a quick review of the inner Renaissance journey. Then I'm going to talk about the big breakthrough, give you some more of my personal storytelling, and then, of course, leave you with some contemplative questions. My two opening quotes tonight, because again I am honoring the European Renaissance and the Harlem Renaissance, comes from Paul Robeson of the Harlem Renaissance and Nicholas Copernicus of the European Renaissance. And Paul Robeson, who was a great actor, he started out as a football player, famous football player, then he became an actor, he was a singer, he sang opera, he was a writer, he's a poet, it's just he was a Renaissance man. And he was also very controversial because at one point he connects with the communists in Russia. Just brilliant, brilliant man. And he said, "To be free to walk the good American earth as equal citizens, to live without fear, to enjoy the fruits of our toil, to give our children every opportunity in life. That dream, which we have held so long in our hearts, is today the destiny that we hold in our hands." And Nicholas Copernicus, one of the great scientists of the Renaissance, who also proved that we revolved around the sun, not the other way around. He says, "To know that we know what we know, and to know that we do not know what we do not know, that is true knowledge." Yes, yes, yes. So, Renaissance defined, again, it means rebirth in French. And the European Renaissance comes about 1,000 years after the fall of the Roman Empire. It involved such people as, again, Nicholas Copernicus, as well as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, William Shakespeare, even Marco Polo was part of that. And then the Harlem Renaissance, it came 40 years after the end of slavery here in America, from the 1910s to the 1930s, rooted in this reconceptualizing of who and what Black people were, to break through all of those nasty, ugly stereotypes that had been promoted. And it included people like Paul Robeson, Bojangles, W.E.B. Du Bois, Duke Ellington, Louis Armstrong, and Zora Neale Hurston. And so when we think about the fact that these periods of time in history that move things because of people kind of waking up, going through a rebirth in terms of who they were as humans, really being thirsty for knowledge and displaying, culture and knowledge and wisdom. So that means that we can, in this lifetime, and especially as a result of what we're going through this year, we can have our personal inner Renaissance. And going on that journey is going on a journey towards self-actualization, self-mastery, and personal sovereignty. Of course, all of that framed to help us become the best version of ourselves, the best humans that we can be, and to contribute to others being the same. So, previously I talked about the breaking up and the breaking down, and now we get to what the reward for all of that is. It's the breaking through, the big breakthrough. Yes. So let me just read at you some of the things that came to my mind about what does breakthrough mean? What does it mean? So, breakthrough is going beyond your limited thinking and understanding to access a higher truth. Yeah, so like breaking out of something where you were limited. Breakthrough is the experience of a revelation. The awareness that you did not know the whole truth. Yes. Breakthrough means you stop resisting your unwanted negative circumstance because you can now honor its purpose. Yeah. Breakthrough can be small or enormously dramatic, but no matter the size or experience, they are revelations that evidence and invite you to end your suffering. Yeah, it's like the big prize. Yeah. Breakthrough comes as a result of moving through breakdown and breakup. It is the divine gift and evidence of the cosmic truth that there is treasure in trouble or in trauma. It's one of the things I'm always preaching. Breakthroughs also are like the crocus breaking through the cold ground of late winter, early spring. It marks a new beginning for your growth and healing journey. And last but not least, breakthrough makes emotional challenges worthy of our time and energy and open up a new path to achieving fulfillment and happy endings in life. Yeah. So, quickly, personal story for me. Back to what I talked about last week too, is the time in my life when financial rug gets pulled out from under me and leads to me having to leave, or really choosing to leave, where I had been living and where I thought I was going to be living for the rest of my life. I really, really thought I was there. So the other thing that was going on that made this shift, this breakdown and breaking up so challenging for me, frightening for me, is that I'd been diagnosed with high blood pressure a couple of years before, but I had gotten to a place where it was just running out of control. And I was just in the beginning of learning how to manage it. And it was really very, very scary that now I was going to be a nomad again and dealing with this high blood pressure. And I can remember saying out loud, God, really? Like, really? How am I supposed to take care of myself when I don't have my own home and I got this high blood pressure? I mean, I just totally went there, you know. And I have no money, right? I ain't got a dime in my pocket. How am I going to do this, God, right? So I was totally in victim mode. And I get to a place where, of course, I begin to just have to surrender. And again, one foot in front of the other. You know, again, not trying to figure it out, but really just staying open and believing, like, wait a minute, God, you didn't bring me this far to leave me. You didn't take me through everything I've been through in life, do what I did, and boom, I just get left. So clearly, God, you must know what you're doing, but I'm really scared right now and I need some help. And as always, when you ask for the help, it will show up. And my help came in me realizing that being in the cold was not helpful to my high blood pressure and I needed to get someplace warm. So I began to think about, who do I know around the country that lives in a warm place? And I realized that I knew not one, not two, but three people living in Arizona. So I said, wow, maybe I can go visit for a little bit. So again, I had no money, but I did have friends and people who, you know, wanted to support me. And so one of them bought me a one-way ticket to Arizona. And I can remember getting there and feeling the warmth and feeling like, okay, this could work. When I was at the airport, it was like, it was really warm because it was in the wintertime. I was coming out of New York City. I'd stopped and visited with my family, doing my poor me thing. But it was really cold in New York at that time. You know, like it was sub-zero in New York. And so I come into the airport in Arizona. It was like, oh, this feels good. This feels good. But I'm still in my poor me mindset, still in my victim mode, you know. And the first person I stayed with is someone who I'd been friends with from a beautiful, beautiful retreat we had gone to together. And I had not seen her in almost like 14 years. I think it had been about 14 years. But we used to talk, you know, intermittently. But she had said, yeah, come on, you know, I got a couch, you can lay on my couch. So I get there, and that first night I lay down to get on her couch, and it hits me again, just wave of suffering, right? And fear. God, really? I am 59, I think it was maybe 59 years old at that point, I can't remember, but I'm like, really, God, this is what you bring me to? You pulled me out of my home. I'm sleeping on somebody's couch. Really? And so I probably cried myself to sleep because I was just so frustrated, so upset. Again, breakdown, right? Breakdown. Yeah, because everything been broken up in my life. And that next morning, I felt something on my face. It felt good. And I opened my eyes, and what I could see laying on that couch, on that magical it became a very healing couch for me. I look out the window, and I can see this most beautiful crystal blue sky and the tops of palm trees. And I realized what was on my face was sunshine. And I began to cry because it hit me all at once. I had that breakthrough. Oh my God. God, you brought me to exactly where I need to be to get healed. Because I had made a prayer. I had made a prayer that I wanted to get my physical body healthy. I wanted to really deal with this blood pressure. And so God had brought me to exactly where I needed to be. And so once I let go of feeling sorry for myself and I'm suffering, I went right into gratitude. And I realized how blessed I was to have friends that gave me a plane ticket, willing to open up their home to me, let me be on the couch. And, as a result of that experience and that breakthrough, that's what opened me up to be healthier. I'm healthier now than I can tell you I've ever been in probably my life. I really am. Because the health isn't just physical. It is also emotional. It is also spiritual. It's mental. And also I became friends with my body and learned how to work with my body. And I also began writing my book in earnest. Yeah, like I finally had the right setting to write my book, which you can see right up on the bookshelf right there. There it is. So, breakthroughs. They are really, really real. And we can actually begin to consciously expect them to show up in our life when we have gone through this breaking down and breaking up. We can actually now consciously say to ourselves, yeah, I'm in a lot of pain right now. I don't like this. It doesn't feel good. But I know that I'm going to break through into something more. And so that really was my breaking through into my full acceptance and embracing of my inner renaissance. Yeah. So here's my personal challenge and awareness opportunity for you through this contemplative exercise. What's a big breakthrough that you've experienced or would like to experience this year, especially since March of 2020? Next, what new path have you been set upon or would like to be set upon? Yeah. And last but not least, if you have experienced a breakthrough or a big breakthrough, how has it inspired your personal Renaissance journey? Yeah. As always, I will leave these personal challenges in the description box below this video. I shall also post it on my Facebook page. And if you haven't already, I ask you politely and kindly to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit the bell so that you can receive all of the videos that I put out. And I thank you so very much. Okay, closing out, I want to do, of course, my shout out to my wonderful engineer, Miss Yvette Parker, who I said is going through her inner Renaissance journey, and to the entire Be Well Black Hole family. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I couldn't do this every week without you. To all my regular listeners out there, and for those of you who maybe are listening in for the first time, thank you, thank you, thank you. And to my number one fan, Miss Sarah, who at her majestic age, she's going to be 96 in November, she's had more big breakthroughs than most of us ever will. Yeah. And so to all those who have wisdom walk with me, and you know who you are, to my family, my spiritual kin, my transformational leadership colleagues, my medicine brothers and sisters around the world, thank you, thank you, thank you. Again, I couldn't do this without your support and loving, loving presence. Now, next week I will continue the theme, and I'll conclude this theme for September with the big breakaway. The book, Wisdom Walk to Self-Mastery, Ancient Wisdom for Transforming Pain, available through Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and other online booksellers. And last but not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides and loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. As always, please have a healthy and safe Nature Week. Get out into nature if you can. Connect with those spirits. Remember, it's also an Earth Day on Tuesday, as well as the Equinox. So celebrate the Earth and this beautiful change in season. Continue to wear your mask. Practice social distancing and safe relating. Avoid perceived safety, especially with people that you know. And embrace science safety. And do remember, most of all, you are not disposable. You are, in fact, divine. Good night now.